How we doing? It's been a wee while since I've done my last video, so I thought I'd do a quick update. Quite a few people have been asking about my shed and the size of it and how everything's been built on it. So this is a view for the outside. It's 20 foot long, 9 foot wide. It's a wooden garage, basically, as you can see for the doors at the front. It's then been converted into my layout. I'll just open up this door here. Excuse the... Yeah. Basically this area just in front that you can see, it's going to get changed, well, built into. There's going to be a workshop in there, roughly about 13 foot by the 9 foot. And then it takes you into the layout in here. So as you see, you come in straight into the helix. It needs to get touched up a wee touch, and then down this side into what is driftwood. Down to driftwood on this side, and then Iron City beer on the far away side here. And then as you come around the corner, we've got my dispatcher panel just sitting here. In the bottom level we have Buffalo Yard, and in the top level at this side we've got what I call Pittsburgh, the grain facility, and the timber facility is getting built just now, and then down to a kind of like a preserved line station. Sorry if this is zipping you about a bit quick. It's all a bit of work down here. It's just some food cellars and different bits and pieces now. A Challenger. And then at this side over here you've got a Altoona Yard, which is my interchange. So that's pretty much, and then a wee workbench at the bottom. But that'll all get moved once I get the layout done. And then you can see here at the bottom, this is my switch panel for the yard. The latest industry on the layout, or the last industry in the layout that I'm building, is AM Lumber, which is what we can see here, this white building. I've took I think it's a freight house kit, or offices or something, and I've made a bit of a funky shape out of it just to fit the space. And hopefully you can see it's not too dark in there, against the wall. And then I've used this loading panel which come from the, excuse my finger, which came from the mine. That came from the mine kit. Going to use that, and then that's going to be for loading wood chips. I'm going to use that once I dirty that up. And then we move up to a loading facility. There's going to be lots of trees and everything just in the middle here, but the groundwork's just drying just now, and then I need to detail and paint up the building. And then the gap here is going to have a lot of trees in here as well, hide that access road as if it disappears in the background. So this is the last industry on the layout at the top level. All the ballast is pretty much down. A couple more layers of water on it, just to water the glue, just to seal it in. And then that'll be the last of the ballast up here, and then it's just the yard at the bottom. Now it's a piece that's a wee bit dark, so I'm going to turn some lights on and let you see it. Tonight I have an operating session. Three of my mates are coming over to fully run the layout for the first time. I've had two people over previously, one just working each side, just to make sure that the main locals and things like that were working, and they do. So this will be the first time that I'm actually going to have full capacity on the layout, with three people operating and one dispatcher at the end, which will be myself. So I'm hoping to take some videos of that later, and then post them in along with this. That's the plan anyway. So this is how the layout would look during operation. The main lights go out, just the layout lights, you operate off of that. So again, we've got Iron City beer just down this side. This bit below there is the head shunt for Buffalo Yard at the far side. And then at this here we've got a petrol plant at the bottom. Armour packaging for some boxcars in here. And then if I just take you round up this end here, this is Driftwood Mine. So this is all industries in Driftwood Mine. This side's pretty much done, apart from detailing and bits and pieces that's need added. I need to work on some coal loads for these gondolas. So once I get them done sorted, but I'm using these timber markers just to say it's full or not. and they've already got coal loads for the wagons at the back, so deal with that. And I'll take you around the other side here. So there's one person that operates in that side, and they run the Driftwood mainly, and then they have a short, small local into Iron City B at the other side. And if you come around this side, this is the other side of the layout. There's two people going to be in here for the first time this side, so I'll have to see how cramped it gets, and hopefully not too bad. So Altoona yard at the side here, yeah, everything that comes up from the Buffalo main yard at the bottom here gets taken to Altoona in here, and then divided up into its locals and sent off to either Pittsburgh on this side or through the back, the curve, if you can, I don't know if you can see that right at the very bottom there, I'll take you down and let you see it. It branches off in that back, sorry if I'm going so fast, that curve that disappears away past the corner there, that disappears round to Iron City Beer, or they have to, sorry for zooming you again, or they have to head that way back to Driftwood. So this is the first time that this is going to be used, this yard is going to be used. I've mainly just had trains and things like that set up down here, so this is the first time Buffalo's going to be used. This is my switch list. This is actually the Buffalo Altoon turn switch list. They're still work in progress just now while I have these shakedown sessions just to work out things and different things like that. So they're kind of a work in progress. When we're sorting stuff to go on a switch list, I just take the first lettered code on the wagons and then put either a coal car, tank car or a box car behind it. I don't worry about the numbers. Some of them are quite hard to read, and initially it's just about moving some cars just now just to get the process worked out. So you can see that the person that's working Buffalo today has got to build this train up from the stock that's lying in the yard. The set out to the local, once they've built this train up and put a loco in the head of it, and then obviously every train that comes up from Buffalo to Altoon must have a caboose on the end. It just adds an extra dimension on. This switch list then gets passed to the person at Altoona yard, and he then divides them into I think there's 3 locals there. Yeah, so the first 5 I'll be going round to a Driftwood local, 2 I'll be going to Iron City local, and then 2 going to the Pittsburgh local. So that's how that's going to work out, if possible. So there's a couple of notes in here, and just there's a new person coming tonight, Robin, that's never operated before, so mainly for him. This is the Iron City local. So there's just the one box car to set out, and then they're picking up 3 cars, which are around the other side there, just to empty that out. So this was using Ops Buddy, just to set the system up with tweaks that I've made myself. So it's a really good system. We'd really recommend it. It's working really well. As you can see, each industry's got its own area. Hopefully there's another switch list underneath here, I think there might be, is there? Yeah, so that's Altoon turn. So once he's made his local up, he would make this Altoona Buffalo turn, and he would send that down. And then once he's done that, I think there is then there's a Pittsburgh local for him to make up. And then once he's done these 3 lists here, it then just becomes live. They just move, everything moves to suit. So it's a really good system. It's been working really well. I've been really pleased with it. So I'm happy with that. So this is the panel for Bison Yard in Buffalo. You've got all your switches here for operating the points in the yard, and then I've also got track detection for locals that head into areas. You can see that red light comes on to say that that's occupied by a local. It only goes so far, and then the light goes off, and then if you're working in this one, so it also gives you an indication when you're in there, just to show you what line you're in. And there's track detection at the back here as well, just for the different locals in those fronts. There's got a local sitting in there already. So whoever's working Buffalo's got a switcher there, which is the Western Maryland number 28, and then they've got 6920, the veterans unit, the NS veterans unit, to then build the first the first turn train. And then the cabooses are sitting just at the far end there. So every train that goes up from here must have a caboose on the back of it, and everything that comes down from here must have a caboose on the back of it. So it helps when we're in the helix. I'm just going to turn the train sound off here. It helps when you're in the helix, and you can keep an eye on it. If it's got a caboose on the back of it, then you know your train's all together. If it hasn't, then you can stop and have a look for it. Plus it adds an extra dimension, an extra wee bit of shunting. So there's the list here which shows what each line's for. So the back line is the main incoming, then you've got ADM, Iron City, Armour, Driftwood, and then outgoing. So when he gets a local turn-in from Altoona yard above and it gets dropped off in the incoming yard, he then splits it off into these different lanes and he builds another one. Now this is a live position, it's up to him what he wants to put together and put up. He'll also decide just where the boxcars are going, but each like ADM Lumber and AM Lumber, and ADM Graham are all on the Pittsburgh local, so I've given him a track plan to show which ones for which local, so that should help. That should help there. And then up here you've got when you're building your turns to head down. So that's this southern car and these two chip wagons that are sitting here all have to head back down to Buffalo. So they'll get pulled out onto the main and get given put a caboose on the end of it. And then, sorry for spinning you again, you'll pull a loco out the engine servicing facility at the far end. You can pretty much just take any loco you want out of here, put it onto the train, and then that gets sent back down. And then that gives them another train that they can then pull back up. So you're kind of just moving something. All the locals don't have any trains sitting to work in yards. They only work with the train that's given to them at the head of the unit. And then they just move between different things. So it should be good. So as I was saying, Robin, John and Steve are coming along tonight. The Thistle Model Makers Club that I used to be a member of a good few years back. So it should be good fun, hopefully. Robin's never operated first, Steve and John have operated twice. So I'm looking forward to see if they can be kept busy enough, if somebody gets overwhelmed, if there's enough space for them in the shed. That was another thing, to make sure that they had enough space. And then just really deal with it for there. And any obstacles that come up, working them hard. So this is the breakdown of how the layout's sitting just now and what's happening later. I'll add a couple of videos in that I take later on from the operations when they happen. Hopefully I get some. And then once I've got it all edited together, I'll stick it up. Take it easy for now. Cheers, bye.
Hitting the track and shortening.
It's hitting the track. Oh, the actual bendy bit. So lift the box.
Yeah.
You should have the KD pliers just right next to you.
Not them.
Yeah. Like 15 quid or something like that, by the way.
I never used these.
I'll come there in a second and I'll show you. I'm putting sound over this anyway, so it's not a problem.